Knives are cool. And axes too.
Hello everybody, Robert Breaker, Knives Are Cool and Axes 2 channel, and we're back. And we have some amazing knives for you today. My favorite knives in the whole world are probably Fällkniven or Randall. I've never been able to make that my one favorite. They're my both favorites. Have you ever had a tie between favorite? Well, that's where I am right now. And I really like Randall knives made in Orlando, Florida. I guess because I'm from Florida, but I just really like the bevels. I like everything about a Randall knife. But I love the European knife, Fällkniven, made by the company Fällkniven. So we're going to look at some Fällknivens today. There's the F1, S1, and A1. Those are the three most sought after, probably most sold, and most well known. Now you either know Fällkniven or you don't. And I go to a lot of knife shows and I ask, hey, anybody got a Fällkniven here? They don't even know what it is. So maybe I'll get to introduce you today to Fällkniven knives. I really like Fällkniven. I think they're so cool. Even the name itself is amazing, Fällkniven. From what I understand, Fällkniven means, well, that's where we get our word knife from, Kniven, knife, but it means opening knife. So originally the factory made knives that opened like a pocket knife, but these are fixed blade knives and they are awesome. And this is really the last knife you'll ever need. They're so well made, they're incredible. They're not the cheapest, but they are very cool. So let's, without further ado, get down here, look at these. I want you to see these different knives. And start with the first one, the F1. Model F1 is the official survival knife of the Swedish Air Force since 1995. So they started with this one, and then they started making other ones. And some of these are great survival knives. Interesting when you look at the box. Yes, we're going to be unboxing today. The F1 was made as the pilot survival knife. The S1 is more of a forest knife, and the A1 is the Army survival knife. So each one has its purpose. So let's unbox these today. Let's look at the first one here. And the first one is the F1. And the F1 is just a simple, basic little knife. I like the handle, not a long blade, but it is sanmai. And if you look, you should be able to see down the middle is a line of a different steel. Sanmai means two different steels on either side, and then in the middle is a certain stronger hardened steel that is very sharp. This is a sharp knife. Now you might say, well, that's little, that's tiny. Yes, because that was for the Air Force. So think about it. An Air Force pilot's not going to be carrying a huge knife. And if they get crashed or have to crash land, well, then they have this in the woods to survive. So that's your F1. But the sheath is ugly. One complaint I have for these Fällknivens is how ugly the sheath is. I mean, they could have made it rounded or tapered or something, but it's just flat square. But it does fit in there, and listen, it clicks. So it stays, it's not going to fall. It has a nice little click to it. And don't call this plastic whatever you do. I think they don't like that in Europe. And don't call it polymer. It's called Zytel. Here we call it Kydex. But this is a Zytel type of a sheath, and I just do not like it. I just think it's so ugly. Now there are other options for the F1. You can get one of these, or you can get one of these. Now this one's for the S1, but you can actually get a leather one like this if you'd like, or you can get a leather one that folds over, which is actually quite nice. When you put it in here and you fold it over, you can actually snap. That's really a nice right there option to go with instead of this ugly looking thing right here. But that's your F1. Let's get that out of the way and let's look at the S1. And F1 is really cool and more than $100. These aren't the cheapest knives in the world, but they're very well made and very nice. So this is the S1 here, and when you unbox it, well, you get a lot of this nice little bubble wrap. And put that aside here. The S1 has the ugly sheath again, unfortunately, but the S1 is way better made. It's got a longer blade, it's got more beveled, And you could actually sharpen that top if you want. Now, some states in America, they don't like you to carry double-edged knives, so keep that dull. But if it's the zombie apocalypse or the end of the world, man, start filing that off. And it'd be nice to have that. And I like this long bevel on the top like that. This is your S1 forest knife. That is a wonderful, wonderful survival knife. Again, do not like this sheath. The better option would be to get this sheath. And this is your S1. And that is a nice leather sheath, and it fits in quite well. Another thing about Fällknivens is you can go with the all shiny metal, or you can get it in black. So choose which one you want. So we got the S1 in black here, and I like it better in black. But there's your forestry knife. So there's your S1. Now let's look at the A1. Now the A1 is probably the one that you'll want to get. This is a perfect survival knife. Now I've seen some videos on YouTube where people used it, and the thing that broke was the handle. And the handle is very good, I think, very well made. But if you're out living on the land and surviving, the thing that'll probably go first would be the handle before anything else, because this is an excellent, excellent knife. And this one here is the A1. And look how much thicker the steel is on that. When you hold this, you almost feel like you're holding a hatchet because it's so thick. And again, you've got your ugly sheath. Now you can do all sorts of sheath options, and I'll show you that here in a moment. But I really like this one. I really like the A1 VG10. It's just beautiful, and it's the bigger one. And so here you have them all, different sizes. But check out our sheath options, okay? Here's one option. What I did is, for this A1, I went ahead and took this thing and stuffed it in here. And I got this from an Army-Navy store. And I made a different kind of sheath, because that sheath is just so ugly. I don't like that sheath. So I made this an option for me. But then I had another option as well. And the other option is, on YouTube, they sell a Kydex sheath already made for the A1. And that your belt will slip in there. And this is awesome. And look how your thumb pushes right here, so it's got a little flap. And this one right here is the best option I've found. And look how nice that looks for a survival knife. And a very thin sheath, and just beautiful. So you have lots of options when it comes to your Fällkniven A1. And again, you could probably get one of these for an A1 as well. But I really like Fällknivens. To me, they're my favorite type of a knife. I just love the design, shape. Now the F1 maybe not, but let's say you've got a bug out bag and you've got kids. Well, an F1 would be a great one to put in a bug out bag for the kid. Let's say you're going out for the weekend. An S1 would be great as a forest knife. Oh, I'm just going to go bushcraft for a little bit. But hey, I'm going to live out in the woods for a long, long time. I think I need an A1, and that's a good one. I really like the style of the handle. It tapers in the right places. Really holds my hand well. Got little hands and my hand fits perfectly. And I just really like the A1 a lot. Now, there's a company out there named Cold Steel in America. And Cold Steel, I guess, really, really, really liked the Fällkniven design. And so I have to wonder if Cold Steel didn't steal that design. Now here, let me move these out of the way here for a second, and let me show you this. This is the Cold Steel SRK. This is the SRK Compact. Let's look at the Compact first. And I gotta wonder if this is Cold Steel S-T-E-E-L or Cold Steel S-T-E-A-L. Did Cold Steel steal the design for the S1? I mean, that looks like the exact same knife, doesn't it? The handle, everything looks almost exactly the same. Did they steal it? Now, the sheath is incredible. So Cold Steel, they pegged the sheath. Instead of the ugly sheath of the Fällkniven, Cold Steel has a great one. But does a Cold Steel sheath work for a Fällkniven? Well, yeah, it's hard, but it does work. I mean, you match those two together, you got something nice. But Cold Steel looks like they said, hey, let's copy a Fällkniven. So just throwing that out there. Do you guys think that's what they did? I mean, because these look like very close, but I'm sure the Cold Steel is not of San Mai. So you're doing way better to get a Fällkniven. The cold steel though is very, very cheap. They don't sell for a lot. I think this is 30, 40, 50 bucks for this cold steel. And that's your SRK compact. Then Cold Steel made the SRK. And look at that. Beautiful, again, very beautiful. But, the sheath I mean. But, what did they do? Did they copy? It almost looks like they totally copied the A1 Fällkniven. Does the sheath work? No, this one's considerably wider than this one. But, you know, Cold Steel makes some good stuff and everything, but sometimes I wonder about them. And I would rather have the Fällkniven than the Cold Steel. But I would rather have the sheath of the Cold Steel than the sheath of the Fällkniven, to be honest with you. What a difference. But Cold Steel, you know, if you can't afford a Fällkniven, because they aren't the cheapest things in the world, maybe get you a Cold Steel if you want that design of a blade. But if you want a blade that is San Mai, it's got the, so you really see it on that blade, the two different steels on either side and the sharper in the middle, and you want one that'll probably last you forever, that's this one. And Fällknivens are awesome. This one here is a little over 100. This one's over 150. This one's probably 200. But if you do like I do, wait for a sale or low bid on eBay, or you know, look for them at garage sales or estate sales, maybe you can get a Fällkniven knife. And the best thing I think would be get the Fällkniven A1 with this sheath. And man, that's stylish, and that's a good thing. That'd probably be the only knife you'll need for the rest of your life if you're going out in the woods a lot. So thank you for watching. I hope this has been informative, and maybe you can see why I like Fällknivens. I just really like this. I actually like the A1 and the S1 more than the F1, but I really like that bevel on the top. I think they knocked it out of the park with this S1 and A1. And so if you can get a Fällkniven for a good price, maybe you should. I like them. Even the box is just amazing. It's got this little sticker here. Can that zoom in on that? A little sticker. And their logo for Fällkniven is just the coolest logo. Just plain black and white in an oval. It's just, oh, it's so cool. So this is your Fällkniven knives. Maybe you should get one if you don't have one. If you do have one, let us know. Let us know what you think about Fällknivens. I am just really, really impressed by them. On eBay, you can find a bunch of them. But like I say, a lot of the shows I go to, they don't even know what a Fällkniven is. But they're made in Sweden, and I like them. So leave in the comments if you like them too. All right, thank you for watching. Knives are cool, and Fällknivens too. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Knives are cool. And axes too.
Bullseye.